Having access to good quality medical care is an important consideration for a lot of people who want to move overseas and live the nomad capitalist lifestyle. And I think it's especially important because many people believe that their country has the best health care in the world, even if that's not statistically true. And so as a longtime advocate of medical tourism, finding the best places to get care around the world, I decided to look at a report from the experts. What are the best hospitals in the world for medical tourism, and where are they? You might be surprised. I'm going to share the list with you right now. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. Here at Nomad Capitalist, our team of 36 people, our network of global experts that I've curated through over a dozen years of traveling to more than 100 countries, and of course me, help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs legally go where you're treated best. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. And when I've talked about go where you're treated best, one of the things that we have from time to time talked about is go where you're treated best for healthcare. I have a home in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. One of the best hospitals in the world, in my opinion, and according to many studies, is Prince Court Medical Center in Kuala Lumpur. You get quality care in a almost museum-like atmosphere at a tiny fraction of the price that you'd pay in the United States and perhaps many other Western countries. You don't need to bother with insurance if you don't want to. And you get seen by doctors who seem, quite honestly, coming from the United States, much more down to earth and much more honest with you than what you'd find in many hospitals in the US. And so having that experience, having had a positive experience at a hospital in Bangkok when I was ill about 8 years ago, the doctor said, you just lost some weight, go to McDonald's, have a Big Mac, gain some of the weight back, you'll be fine. I've had quality health care everywhere from Serbia to Prague to Singapore. I've popped into places in the Philippines, in Dubai, and honestly I can say that I haven't suffered a lack of quality care pretty much anywhere in the world that I went. And if I wanted to cut out some of the grittiest and far-flung places, I could eliminate and make sure I had good health care everywhere. But let's go through some numbers. I found a report called The World's Best Hospitals for Medical Tourists. And this comes from a group that reviews hospitals. Now, it has a little bit of that in-flight magazine feel, to be honest with you. So I'm not endorsing these hospitals with my own personal top 10. I'm saying that as of 2019, these were the top 10 best hospitals in the world, according to a group that tracks hospitals for medical tourists. Hint, only 3 of the hospitals are located in Western countries. And to me, that shows that you can find quality healthcare in a lot of places, and that a lot of countries are really trying to improve their healthcare offerings to bring people as medical tourists to their country. The number 1 best medical tourism facility in the world, located in Beirut, Lebanon. Certainly a place that many Westerners wouldn't feel comfortable going, but Clemenceau Medical Center, rated as excellent for patient care, not only for Lebanese, but also for medical tourists. Number 2, Anadolu Medical Center in Istanbul. Spent time in Istanbul. There are definitely some great hospitals there. I have a home that's very near to one of the best hospitals in Turkey. And Turkey has stood out as a place where they have top quality doctors from everything from cosmetic surgery to emergency care. People go from around the region. And so if I lived in a place like Tbilisi, Georgia, or Skopje, Macedonia, and I had a serious issue, I might go to Turkey to receive care. Number 2, Anadolu Medical Center in Istanbul, ranked very highly. Number 3, the Specialty Hospital in Amman, Jordan, a country, again, a lot of Westerners wouldn't consider, very highly rated in terms of how they handle patient care. Number 4, a clinic, Asklepios Clinic Barmbek in Hamburg, Germany. So now we're in a world that certainly people would understand. People would expect high quality care in Germany. But it's a hospital that focuses largely on medical tourists. And so you can go to Germany, but it is ranked number 4 behind 3 countries that, 3 hospitals in 3 countries you probably wouldn't consider. Number 5, Samativij Hospital in Bangkok. I can personally tell you, I was at Bumrungrad Hospital in Thailand, but lots of good hospitals in Bangkok. People go there from around the region, again, for cosmetic procedures as well as very serious procedures. And so definitely, Thailand, excellent low-cost place to live. The care in both Thailand and Malaysia, very inexpensive compared to what you'd pay in the West. I have insurance in Malaysia. I never bother to use it. It's not worth the hassle to avoid paying whatever small cost I'm paying for the medical care. Number 6 is my personal favorite, Prince Court Medical Center in Kuala Lumpur. And they show a picture You sit in one of the doctor's offices and they look out at the Twin Towers. It's a beautiful view, which I guess will be covered up pretty soon as they build more buildings. But this is really, you just feel like you're not in a hospital. They really take care of you as a customer, not even as a patient, but as a customer, where they realize you have other places that you can go. So when you go and get certain procedures, or where you go for the executive health check, it's something like $150. They do the most thorough health check. They rush you to the front of every line, and then they give you a voucher for food to go and have a lunch and to go and sit. And everything is done professionally. Everything is done promptly, more efficiently than I ever had in the United States. And to me, that's what medical tourism is about. You get to choose, where are you treated best? Where are you treated with the most respect? Where's it most efficient? Where's it most cost effective? Where are you getting the best quality care? And I can speak from experience. You've got a lot of doctors there who studied in the UK, a few who studied in the US, a few who studied in Australia. That's the kind of doctor they get at these top clinics. These are people who studied in the places where you want to get care. Number 7, a Western country, Shouldes Hospital in Toronto, medical tourist special. Number 8, Gleneagles Hospital. There is one in Kuala Lumpur, but in this case they're referring to Gleneagles, I believe the original one in Singapore. Doesn't have quite the museum feel, at least in Kuala Lumpur. I have not been there in Singapore. But again, top quality doctors. I did go to the one in Kuala Lumpur. I had someone who studied in the US, very Western minded. And I can tell you, when I got some treatment there and I had to follow up in another country, the people in the other country in Europe were not nearly as familiar with the up-to-date procedures and up-to-date treatments as they were in Malaysia. And so I can imagine Singapore Gleneagles is just as good. Number 9, Lovenstein Rehabilitation Hospital in Tel Aviv. Very comprehensive rehab hospital, they say. World-renowned experts in rehab medicine, etc. So that's Tel Aviv. And then number 10, Proton Therapy Center in Prague, Czech Republic, more of a specialist hospital, in this case for prostate cancer. It's an alternative to places like MD Anderson in the United States. So some of these hospitals do specialize. And I think when you look at medical tourism, certain countries have a tendency to specialize in certain things. I've looked at things like heart surgeries in India that are as little as 6 cents on the dollar compared to some Western countries. And you have doctors who are world leaders, some of them, in things like heart surgeries. I think I've also looked at things like knee surgeries in India. You have really, hospitals going up all around the world, from the UAE and other countries in the Middle East, to Turkey, to countries in Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, countries in Latin America. They generally don't show up on as many lists, but you have accredited hospitals by organizations like JCI in places like Mexico and Panama. And so for emergency care, for serious care, whether it's cancer, whether it's surgeries, whatever it may be, there are places around the world that will take care of that. We're seeing in Prague, if you have prostate cancer, for example. Again, different hospitals that specialize in different things. And I can tell you, from a little bit of experience, I try not to go to the doctor too much, but from a little bit of experience, you want to go, this is not my medical opinion to you, but from my personal opinion, I want to deal with people who are specialists in something. And so I think that there are places around the world, no matter what the condition is, that are specialists. Some of the best plastic surgeons in the world, they talk about being in Brazil or being in Turkey. Again, India is specializing in certain things. Singapore, does certain things. There is a place where you can go and get great quality health care. Now, should you live in Singapore? Perhaps not. I think you could certainly live in Bangkok or Prague or Kuala Lumpur or Istanbul if you wanted to. You could also live somewhere nearby and just fly there when you need serious health care. Even countries like Cambodia these days have good emergency care if you're willing to pay for it. And then you could always just go and deal with the longer term care somewhere else. And you have these facilities now that are open to encouraging you to come. Many of the Thailand hospitals have whole packages where you can recover in comfort. They'll rent you an apartment. They'll shuttle you around in a Mercedes in some cases. Why is it we only look at competition for some things? This is a list of 10 hospitals. Is it the best 10 in the world? I don't know. Again, I have experience with a couple of them. But it goes to show the Western world is not nearly as significant as it once was for quality health care. in the Eastern world, whether it's Asia, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's anywhere else, is emerging as a destination where they want to be on par. They want to grow their country. They want to be competitive. And they realize that part of that is attracting healthcare dollars, partially from tourists who want to come from the US or from the UK or from wherever else. You know, I've spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe, and whether it's Serbia, whether it's Romania, you know, people come from the UK or Germany for cheaper dental care, what they call dental tourism. That's more of a cost savings issue, but certainly if you can pay less and get the same quality care. I went to a clinic once in Bucharest to get my teeth cleaned. I'd never seen anything so sophisticated. They had machines whirling around. Everything was brand new. I think that's what you're going to see. And the theme that I've really been on lately is legacy brand countries like the US. How many dentists have I been to the US? I've never seen anything like what I saw outside of the city center of Bucharest. You know, Bucharest knows they can't afford to rest on their laurels. Prague knows the same. Kuala Lumpur knows the same. Nobody would come there to get equal quality or lesser care, so they have to be better. That's the good news for those of you who are willing to move overseas. You can find plenty of good quality care in a lot of places. And even if you're not willing to move overseas, consider paying less, consider getting a better experience, more efficient through medical tourism. That's, to me, another example of how you can go where you're treated best, this time with your body and with your health. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.